welcome once again into today's discussion, a conversation about how we are and have more in common than we have in differences. Every 820 episode intends to remind you, to guide you, to suggest to you your direction and depth of your resilience. So while I hope that opening statement intrigues you, hopefully it helps you. I know I cannot change your life, but my intention with each episode is to change your perspective on the present moment. Today's topic is called the fire for you, or the fire for the sake of the fire. For example, something put into a fire, do you think the fire cares? I know that sounds a bit more ethereal, more a fluffy spiritual take on resilience. But give me a few moments on this one today, please. I want to correlate the external fire and trials and tribulations to the ones within you and I. As I mentioned to you before, you have a very unique mission and purpose and message to share and deliver in the short time that you have here now. Right now, I have now less than 500 seconds to offer you these words. And I've stated wholeheartedly about the commonness we share, and it's more essential to this existence than the ways we may appear or act physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, and on the surface of ourselves. You know, those external things are for visuals and for demonstrations. But often, and for most of us, we neglect the internal infrastructure and timeless essence that allows us to freely observe, to freely communicate, and to let our awareness of our defined beauty to shine through. No, we usually defer to the easy option to get along with the crowd and the mass media and where the herd is being led to that cliff. So the fire reference and theme for this discussion. The fire doesn't care what you throw into it. The fire does fire stuff. It burns up and burns stuff down to its essence. In eloquent terms and through a poetic lens, fire refines the material placed into or onto it. That also applies to the fire within you. That pilot light that burns at the core of your existence, placed there through the insistence of your Creator for you and for I to be here and now. That fire within you doesn't care what you use as fuel or fodder or piss and vinegar for it to burn. It will continue to light your way forward, igniting and sparking your engine, your heart, to operate. But the more inefficient and destructive pseudo fuel that you throw into it and onto your fire, your pilot light, like wet kindling, sand and dirt, a metal snuffer, empty words and promises, non-productive activities and habits, bad food, bad poison, bad drink, bad sex. The light in you will still persist, but only to a degree. And it will start to flicker, become weaker, and less vibrant, subject to the slightest sudden gust or gale of a wind, or challenge, or trial, or tribulation, or more trouble. And there goes your light, your reliable fire now extinguished. Out like a light, as they say. Your fire does fire stuff. It can burn up the garbage that you throw into it and onto it, but it also can refine and cure the heavy metals and positive matter that you consume as consistent with your yes and positive production intent in these last few seconds. The fire does what the fire does. What will you do? Again, analogy, yet actual fire. Just think with that. Just consider that today. And let me leave you with this statement, kind of sort of about that fire that I'm relaying to you today. But Mr. Holliday, he puts out these daily Stoic messages and written scads of books and presentations worldwide. But I think this is worthy and worth your consideration under the context of this fire for you. Quote, when we say amor fati, when we say the obstacle is the way, we're not talking about just sitting there, being provided with fuel. We're talking about surging forward, pulling ourselves towards the oxygen, going towards the fuel, towards the next thing, never stopping, using all of it. We seek out energy and create energy in the process. We don't wait. We don't stop. We are not passive. We become unstoppable, unquote. Now, I would disagree with the create energy part of that statement. We don't create energy. We accept and employ and use the resources built on energy that was given to us by our higher power, by our creator. So we don't create it. But aside from that, that statement about going towards the fuel, putting it into the fire, the good stuff, that makes us unstoppable. But also for me, I would put a caveat on this. It also means we are resilient. Stay present. Stay current. Please remember, no matter where you are in this world, it's always 820.